Hey y'all, just wanted to check in with you. I've had several people ask me lately how the market is and what's going on with real estate. So I thought I would just take a few minutes and tell you what I am seeing and what I know is going on right now. So it's still a seller's market. And I know people keep saying, well, we're waiting for the market to crash. We're waiting for prices to come down before we buy. And prices are not going to come down. We are seeing now a more normalized market. In the frenzy of the COVID pandemic, prices went nuts because so many people were moving here as well as other places in the country and in the world. But everybody loves this area, and we were seeing people coming from California, New York, well, basically everywhere. And quite frankly, I would much prefer to work with people who are local in buying and selling than to encourage more people to come into this area. But I think that's just going to be the way it is forever because everybody loves the mountains. They love everything there is to do here. It's a protected area, kind of, we're kind of safe from volcanoes for sure. We're kind of safe from tornadoes and things like that. We have the occasional mudslides and the occasional little earthquake, but for the most part, it's a fairly safe place to be. And I think a lot of people come here for that. Also because of mission and the whole healthcare thing. But anyway, I wanted to explain why it's not going to crash, the market. It's not going to crash. Because the circumstances today are very different than what they were in 2008. So back then, there was a surplus of inventory and builders had overbuilt. There were lots of houses to be sold. In addition to that, people who owned their homes did not have the amount of home equity that they have now. They were using that equity on crazy things like a boat or a pool or I don't know. They were just using their money. They didn't have the home equity. And banks would just loan to anyone back then. It didn't matter if you didn't have a job almost. They would just give money to anybody. And so they learned their lesson big time because they had to take back all those houses. And then they took a loss on that. They don't want to do that again. So the banks are very much more careful today about who they will loan money to. Additionally, we have low inventory. We are still at a historically low inventory when it comes to housing. There are way more buyers than sellers. Even with apartments, there are people, I've heard the other day somebody had 13 applicants on a rental. And I believe it was an apartment, not even a rental home. But there are too many people and not enough housing. And that's a problem, y'all. And especially in the lower affordable price ranges, which is what I call affordable, like in the $300,000, $400,000 homes, we're still seeing competing offers on homes like that. So that is why it's not going to be another crash like it was in 2008. We just don't have the inventory. We still have too many people looking for homes, and they don't have a lot to choose from. So they end up competing for the same house. And that happens more often than you'd like to think. If you're a buyer anyway, it makes it a little competitive. But, and also the interest rates, of course, they are going to go up and down. They're still not near like what they were 20 years ago. I've seen 18%. So, I know 2% was great, but 7% is not that bad. So, and in addition to that, home prices are over time going to appreciate. So whether you may be paying a 7% interest rate today, next year, if it comes down to 6 or 5 or whatever, you can refinance. And I know that that's maybe not ideal, but it's certainly an option. So don't wait to buy a house. Homes are only going to go up in price over time. There's absolutely nothing that's showing us that homes are going to depreciate. So if you're looking at a house this year, that same house next year is probably going to be at least 6% more as far as market value than it is now, because 6% is the average home price appreciation rate. So last year was crazy. It was 9%, which that was all due to COVID. But the normal average is like 6% home price appreciation. So today is the best day to buy a house. Dave Ramsey said that. Some people may not be Dave Ramsey fans, but the fact remains it's true. Real estate is one of the best investments you can make because they don't make any more of it. And with the exception of the false places or the islands they're making over in Dubai. But anyway, in general, real estate is just hard to come by, and it's a good investment. And over time, it appreciates. So you can build equity and build wealth through real estate. That's a whole nother topic for another video. But wanted to share that those are the reasons why it's not going to crash right now. And if I can help you buy or sell real estate here in Western North Carolina, or really anywhere, because I have referral partners all over the country. So if you're moving out of Western North Carolina, or if you're moving into Western North Carolina for somewhere else, please let me know. I'll be glad to help you.